I think most of us have one of these, a drawer or a box full of old power supplies, and every time you need one you think, surely the right one must be in there somewhere, but then you start checking them. Wrong plug, wrong voltage, wrong polarity. So the question is, can this tiny USB-C adapter replace all of this mess? Or is it just a more complicated way to avoid buying the right power supply? So today I picked two devices that show the problem very well. This Casio keyboard PT-100, you can also power it via a power supply. And you see it is 7.5 volt with center negative polarity. And on top of that we have this old style Sony PSP that needs 5 volt and center positive polarity. So two different devices, two different voltages and different polarity. And that is where this little VFLEX kit comes in, from the company Werewolf. The idea is pretty simple. Instead of hunting for the exact power brick, I can use a USB-C charger or a USB-C power bank. Set the voltage in the app, choose the right adapter and power all devices from something modern. And if you're new here, I'm Marcus, I fix and mod broken tech. And today I'm trying to turn USB-C into a power supply to power old devices. What could possibly go wrong? Werewolf sent me their VFLEX Starter Kit and some gadget that's getting along with it to test it out. But no money had changed hands. This is my own opinion and Werewolf did not see the video before you did. So what have they sent me? The VFLEX Starter Kit, you have the different adapters in there, you have 3 of the tiny magic devices that makes it all happen, and you have the wonderful box where it comes all together. Then they sent me a magnetic USB-C cable, which is pretty cool, a 5000 milliamps power bank with MagSafe, an USB-C wall adapter, ultra slim, but it's US only and I'm in the EU, so I can't test it out, but I will show it to you anyway. And a tiny cute USB-C meter where we can see the voltage and how much amps are getting drawn. And everything of this I will put in the video description. A big thanks to Werewolf sending me this stuff. So in this video I will show you how it works, what we need, how we set up the app and how we use it to power a device. There are some pitfalls with USB-C, but we get to them. So first of all, this here is the starter kit. That is everything you need basically, and a USB-C cable and a USB-C power source, e.g. a power bank or a power adapter. And there is a catch I will show you in a moment. So, and here we have the different adapters. Basically this here is the tiny little device. That's it. It's really small. Have a look, it's resting on my thumb. And one side is USB-C with an LED, on the other side we can plug adapters. And the adapters I'm talking about are this one here. So that's everything you get from the starter kit, and the pure white ones, these are all center positive ones. And you see there are also 2 orange ones, and these are center negative. These are mostly important for older devices because in the past center negative was the big thing, unfortunately. And there are some more on their website, if I remember correctly. It is possible to buy them on their own if something is missing. And they are also labeled. For example, this one is called M, or this one is called A, so you have an idea which adapter is which. But before doing this, we need the app. This here is the app, and you see it's telling us to connect the VFLEX via USB. If you're using an iPhone and you're using an iPhone that has no USB-C already, there are also adapters to plug Lightning to USB-C. With Android or newer iPhones, you should be fine. And this here is the cable they sent me. What I like here is that it's magnetic. So let's do it. Let's plug it here and the other side in my phone. And what we see now, we can give it a name and we see it is giving us 5 volts at the moment. But there is something we need to do. In the inventory, you could create presets. So for example, you can say, yeah, what's that for a device? For example, Casio PT-100 in case for our keyboard. Can give it a photo, a model number, an adapter cable. These are the one I showed you in a moment ago. These ones here, and then you can choose which one it is. There's also the selection for center negative and center positive. You can put a photo there, the voltage, the current rating, etc. But you don't have to do it. You could also just tune in the voltage and you are fine. But what you do need to do is power sources. Power sources could be, for example, this power bank they sent me. You see, it's 5000 milliamps, 20 watt of output, and we see here what it's capable of. It can do 5 volts, 3 amps, 9 volt, 2.22 amp, 12 volt, 167 amps, and that's the important part, the PPS, Programmable Power Supply, that's what it stands for. And it says we can choose between 5 volts to 12 volts with 1.67 amp. And not every USB-C power bank is capable of doing PPS, for example, or the ranges will slightly change. For example, this power brick over here, you see there is PPS from 3.3 to 16 volts and 2.5 amp max. So that's something you need to have an eye on when you use it. You need a power bank that can supply the needed voltage and amps you need for your device. And you need a cable with an E mark in it, as I remember correctly, but there's everything down in the description. It's not as hard as it seems. Let me show you a way to get this into the system. That's pretty easy. So let's say add new power source, and the manufacturer in this case is Werewolf. The power source name is, I call it MacPack, or I could upload a photo, but I won't. I will enter the model number. Total power rating is 20 watt. It's a battery power bank. For the unit we choose milliamp hours and say it's 5000. And we just have one USB-C port, so we choose one. And now we can use this device to scan the power bank's capabilities, and it will report it back to the app. To do so, we'll just click Scan Port and enter Scan Mode. Now it says we can disconnect it and put it here, and when it's getting green, we know it's done with its scan. Now it is. Now we can plug it back into the phone and we will get the results. So now we see, okay, 5 volts, 3 amps, 9 volt, 2.22 amps, 12 volt, 1.67 amps, and so on, and the capabilities for the programmable power supply, where you can choose, for example, 4.3 volt if you need it. So now we save it. And when we now go to the main page, we can say, let's have a look on the keyboard again, and we see here we need 7.5 volt and here a center negative polarity. That means we can put here our 7.5 volt. I will select the power source, the MacPack we just configured a moment ago, and everything is fine. So if you would select something that's not capable of providing the 7.5 volts, it will tell you here at this point. LED always on is fine, you can disable it as you can see. And now we need an adapter that fits there. So let's have a look. We need center negative, so it must be the orange one. And this one is too small, so it must hopefully be this one. And yes, it fits. On the other side, so it's programmed correctly, we can unplug it. This one needs to get into this, and it's just one-way fit, so you can mess it up. So we plug it. Now it looks pretty neat. Of course, we are not just trusting it that it's getting out the 7.5 volt. That's the cute little power meter they sent me also, and we can just put it in between. So this and this. And now we will just use the power bank. So we have a portable power supply and we can see 7.49 volt. Nice. So that should be it. But let's measure it with the multimeter too. So center negative. So it should be like this. And we see 7.5 volt or nearly. So perfect. I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay, and to show you that there are no batteries inside, here, nothing in, and it is now on, but nothing. Now, we will plug it, turn it on, and we have music. How cool is that? So yeah, so this one is now programmed for the keyboard. But there are more inside. Now let's try the PSP. Same thing here. I will remove the battery. So no battery inside. And it's not turning on. So now let's have a look here. 5 volts, center positive. We will grab another one, why not? Let's use this one. And currently, I have no idea what the prices will be in the future. One of these is, I think, $8 around? $8, I guess. I will put it on the screen. So it's pretty cheap if you ask me. Of course, you need the adapters, but if you have the starter kit, you are fine. I think the starter kit is $45, but with it, you're very flexible and you can buy them on your own. So, second one. Let's connect it. And 5 volts is always the default. It comes with it. 5 volt is perfect. So select power. It's the Mac pack and it says us 3 amps would be the max. Perfect. We'll never use it. Yeah, this is it. So we can unplug it. And now we need another adapter cable. It's a yellow plug, so let's use this one. And I know that this jack is wonky, so it will be a little bit a contact issue. That's not a problem of the kit or the cable, it's just one of the PSP. As always, we plug it in, connect it with our power bank. And yes, why not? Let's use the meter again to verify the voltages. And we see it's 5 volt. As I told you, it's a bit wonky, the connector, so I try to lay it flat. And we power it, it's getting green. And we see here, let me try if I can get it a little bit closer, that it's drawing 260 milliamps. So that's working also fine. Perfect. Oh yeah, and they also sent me this DIY adapter, so we can just, put it just plain bare wires inside and power whatever we like. So you could use it as a lab power supply. I mean, it's maybe not that convenient, but it's cool to have it laying around. This adapter is not included in the normal starter kit. It can be purchased additionally. I would definitely order it. I mean, why not? This flexibility is very cool to have. And it's not expensive either, so I will put the price on the screen now. Oh yeah, and this is the mentioned flecked wall adapter they sent me with the US plug. I can't use in Europe, unfortunately, but that's pretty slim And we see the specs over here. It can go from 5.5 volts to 11 volts with PPS, and yeah, you see the other values. You can skip it if you would like. Sorry, from 5 to 11. Pretty slim, not expensive, and we have two outputs here. Nice. So can VFLEX replace the whole drawer of old power supplies? Not completely. I mean, if you have a device that needs a fixed power supply forever, then I would say it's much more convenient to have, yeah, the original power supply or a dedicated one at hand for this specific device. It might be cheaper and simpler. Not always cheaper, but it could. For me, the real advantage is that I can fiddle around on my bench to test something out with all the different adapters and changing polarity, very easy and convenient. And away from the bench, it's getting more interesting. So with the right USB-C power bank with enough capacity and the right voltage profiles, I can run old devices or devices in general without a wall socket at all. I mean, how cool is that? So you can be sitting in the grass, inside the park, grab your keyboard and play with it. I mean, yeah, maybe keyboards have batteries inside if needed, but you get the idea. So every device that you could power with it and you have a good power bank, you could use it on the go. And that is what it makes very special. So that is where VFLEX makes sense to me. Experimenting, repair works, travel, so it's a convenient package. And you can put in the box the power supply, the little USB-C meter and all of the adapters. It will fit. It's a bit squished in, but it will fit. And you have an all-in-one package to power your devices on the go. And if you like the idea of making old devices work with the USB-C, I also made a video where I put USB-C directly into the device. You will find it here. Watch that one next. And as always, happy tinkering, guys!